Recently, everyone's been saying that running slow makes you run faster. You see it all over the internet, and midlife runners like us often buy into the idea of running slow to get fast. Why? Because slow Zone 2 runs feel easy and comfortable. They're far less demanding than tempo or VO2 max work. And once we get used to that comfort, we tend to avoid the discomfort of running fast. That's why the idea is so tempting. But does running slow really make you run faster? The truth is, no, not really. Sure, it might make you a little faster over time, but it won't make you meaningfully faster. And if you think about it logically, it just can't do that. Now imagine you're a race car driver. If all your training happens in a camper van cruising at 50 miles an hour and you only drive your F1 car on race day, you're going to be terrible at handling the car at 200 miles an hour. Running works the same way. You can't expect to race fast if you only train slow. So why does everyone keep saying that running slow makes you run faster? That's exactly what we're going to unpack in this video. My name is Jusman and I'm a distance running coach who helps midlife runners over 40 achieve new levels of performance in their running journey. The run slow to get fast idea comes from the internet overemphasizing the 80% part of the 80-20 training model. Research by the legendary sports scientist Dr. Steven Seiler shows that elite endurance athletes complete about 80% of their training at low intensity and 20% at high intensity. By taking the 80-20 model out of context and focusing almost entirely on the 80% of easy, slow running, the internet has simplified it into just run slow and you get fast. But here's the catch. That's not what the research says. If all you ever do is run slow, your body adapts to running slow. You'll only recruit the muscle fibers, energy systems, and neuromuscular patterns needed to run at slow paces. And yes, you get very efficient at running slow, if that's all you do. Faster workouts such as tempo or threshold runs, VO2 max intervals, and hill sprints, on the other hand, trains your brain and muscle to fire efficiently at speed. They improve your running economy, lactate threshold, VO2 max, and your ability to sustain high intensities for longer. In other words, to run fast, you have to train fast. At the heart of all performance training is the principle of specificity. Let me give you an example. If you want to run a 3-hour marathon, you must train close to 7 minutes per mile pace. Only by training at or near that pace will your body learn to recruit the exact muscle fibers, energy systems, and fatigue profile that comes with it. If you only run 10-minute miles, your body will never adapt to running 7-minute miles for the distance of the marathon. Then comes the volume factor. Once you've trained your body to run efficiently at your goal race pace, the next challenge is developing the endurance to sustain that pace over the full distance of the race, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half, or full marathon. Legendary coach Renato Canova explains it best. The goal of an entire training cycle is to build your aerobic base to the point where you can handle increasingly larger volumes of running at your goal race pace. That's how you develop specific speed endurance. The ability not just to run fast, but to stay fast even when you start to fatigue. But does that now mean that you should ditch slow running altogether? No, not at all. Because to train fast and race fast, you still need to run slow. You know, I'm a big fan of precision training and getting the most out of the time you spend running. Well, that applies off the road too, especially when it comes to understanding what's really happening inside your body. Lately, I've been using the Body Pod by Hume Health and it's quickly becoming part of my morning routine. Being the world's first portable body analyzer, it measures your full body composition with medical-grade accuracy. It's almost like having one of those $20,000 full body scanners used in clinics. What I like most about it is that it doesn't just give you a surface-level number. For me, tracking my visceral versus subcutaneous fat and overall muscle balance gives a much clearer picture than just body weight alone. If you want to try it, use the link below with my code ENDURANCELAB for 20% off. It also stacks with Hume's current sale for up to 50% total savings. The code's only valid for 7 days, and if you're in the US, it's HSA and FSA eligible, which means your insurance may even pay for it. Huge thanks to Hume Health for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to why you should still run slow. Running depends on two key systems, your musculoskeletal system, muscles, tendons, bones, joints, etc., and your cardiorespiratory system, heart, lungs, mitochondria, etc. Slow running strengthens both. Your slow twitch muscle fibers grow stronger, mitochondria multiply, oxygen delivery improves, and fat-burning enzymes become more active. The beauty of low-intensity running is that you can do a lot of it without breaking down. Each run gently stresses your system and builds durability. Over time, that consistency compounds like interest in a bank. Why is that important? Well, because slow running builds the aerobic base by strengthening those systems. And the stronger your aerobic base, the more volume and speed work your body can handle later. Let's take for example a recreational midlife runner averaging 30 miles a week. About 24 miles or 80% should be easy zone 2 running, while 6 miles or 20% should target race-specific fitness. This balance helps you train hard, recover well, and keep improving week after week. Now compare that to an elite marathoner running 100 miles weekly. That's 80 easy miles and 20 fast ones. By stacking years of easy mileage, they've built a massive aerobic foundation that lets them handle far more high quality running. And those fast sessions only work if that foundation exists. Without it, you risk burnout, overtraining, or injury before you ever adapt. Looking at both runners side by side, the difference becomes obvious. The recreational runner can handle about 6 miles of fast, high-intensity, race-specific work each week, while the elite marathoner can absorb more than 20 miles of it. And this leads to the real takeaway. Running slow itself doesn't make you fast. What it does is build the musculoskeletal strength and aerobic durability that allows you to handle a much larger volume of high-intensity, race-specific work. And it's that increased ability to train fast at a high volume, and not the slow miles themselves, that ultimately make you a faster runner. So is the 80-20 model for you? Well, it depends on your mileage. The 80-20 split is a better fit for high mileage runners but matter less for those training fewer miles. A 2020 study by Festa and colleagues looked at 38 recreational runners averaging 18 to 25 miles per week. One group trained with a 77-3-20 intensity distribution, meaning 77% of their training was at low intensity, 3% at moderate, and 20% at high intensity, while another group followed a 40-50-10 split, spending more time in the moderate zone. After 8 weeks of training, both groups showed similar gains in performance and aerobic fitness. So what does that mean? Well, for low mileage runners, the exact percentage of each training intensity matters much less than training consistently with a mix of intensities. Both groups improved not because either had a more optimal training intensity distribution, but because they included running workouts at all levels of intensity. Based on that, here's what I recommend as a practical mileage and intensity guide. If you're running about 12 miles per week, that's 2 to 3 short runs. You can safely include 40 to 50% high intensity running without overdoing it. As your weekly mileage increases to around 18 to 25 miles, shift that balance to about 60 to 70% of easy running and 30 to 40% faster efforts. Now once you reach 30 to 37 miles per week, move towards 70 to 80% easy running. And above 43 to 50 miles, follow the classic 80-20 or even an 85-15 split if you need more recovery time. From my experience, this balance suits most midlife runners. So, does running slow really make you faster? No, not directly. But it builds your musculoskeletal and cardiorespiratory systems. Together, they form the foundation that makes fast running possible. Think of slow running as building a bigger engine for your race car before fine-tuning your horsepower with faster running. In short, to race fast, you must run fast. But to run fast, you first need to run slow. Now that you know how running slow actually helps you run fast when done right, watch this if you're training for a sub 20-minute 5K, or this if you're looking for your next marathon breakthrough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.